the nation's favourite antiques experts. £200 each and one big challenge.
Well, Duck, do I buy you or don't I?
Who can make the most money buying and selling antiques as they scour the UK?
What's my wife up to?
The aim is trade up and hope that each antique turns a profit. But it's not as easy as it looks, and dreams of glory can end in tatters.
Do I hear 1,500?
So, will it be the fast lane to success or the slow road to bankruptcy?
I can't keep this posture up for much longer.
This is the Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. It's an exciting new week, and we're with a pair of highly professional road trip veterans. Antique experts Charlie Ross and James Braxton.
I can't see where we're going.
Charlie Ross is the daddy of auctioneering. He ran his own auction house for over 25 years and has conducted auctions around the world, and as such has become a pillar of professionalism and stature, as you can see.
I was going to be very rude, but I'd better not be very rude. I was going to ask you to knock the 10 off.
And this is James Braxton.
Lovely feeling of calm.
A seasoned auctioneer and qualified surveyor, I'll have you know.
I think I might have another idiot check.
James is a cool, calm and collected kind of guy.
Don't worry, no.
Our chaps begin their antique adventure with £200 each and a rather nice set of wheels.
You know, there is no finer place on earth than the Highlands of Scotland. It's just gorgeous.
Their sporty 1954 open-top Sunbeam Alpine is the perfect car for our dashing duo, but perhaps not the best choice considering their location.
We've never had a better view of the Highlands, Brackle.
James and Charlie will travel over 300 miles down the stunning east coast of Scotland before zipping over to the west and finishing in the seaside town of Ayr. Today we're kicking things off in the Highlands, driving from Cromarty along the Moray Firth coastline and finishing up with an auction extraordinaire in Buckie.
I knew I was going to enjoy this trip.
Poised on the tip of the Black Isle, a peninsula in the Scottish Highlands, is Cromarty, the Highlands' best preserved historic town, and it's within the county of Ross and Cromarty.
Now, where are we, Charlie?
Cromarty.
Cromarty.
And what's my name?
Ross.
Ross and Cromarty.
Ross and
So
Cromarty.
from here on in, you are Cromarty.
Sounds like the shipping forecast.
And we're here to spend £200.
£200.
What on?
Well, hopefully antiques. I'm looking around lovely Ross and Cromarty. I ain't seeing a lot of antique shops.
It's not rich in antique shops, but I don't suppose there's anybody to buy antiques up here, other than you and me.
Fear not, Charlie boy, there's an antique emporium close by that's right up your street.
Sounds gorgeous. I can't buy in here, Mr. Braxton. I can't buy anywhere.
It's not long before our haggling maestro tries his luck with owner Helen.
Are you hugely negotiable with your price? I suppose it depends what things have cost.
Depends what I think it's worth. If it's something that I regret buying...
If you regret buying it, I don't want it, Helen, do I? Come on, be reasonable.
This one you can have very cheaply.
Can I?
Charlie, yeah.
May I be rude, Helen? I'm not surprised.
Charming. This Wedgwood mug was made to commemorate the investiture of His Royal Highness Prince Charles as Prince of Wales in 1969.
You've got an original Monet here. Oh, no, it's Mitchell. Doesn't that look like a Monet scene?
I think that's...
But it's got that colouring. An October afternoon, brackets Scotland.
This beautiful oil painting is by artist Mary Mitchell from Aberdeen.
And you got that for nothing, didn't you?
Not exactly nothing. No.
But very nearly.
I didn't pay an awful lot for that.
Is that a 20-pounder?
No, I'm afraid it's not a 20.
Do you know, you took that remarkably well.
Charlie, you cheeky so-and-so, it's priced at £85.
I'd love to buy
Because
that,
I've
but it would...
taken a fancy to you. You can have that for £65, that's the death.
Oh, Helen, don't tell him that. Who knows what he'll come out with next?
Would 30 be any good, Helen?
No.
Really?
I'm not interested, no.
Glad you've come to your senses, Helen. Give Charlie an inch and he'll take a mile. And probably kiss you.
Could you do 40 quid?
No.
Are you sure you couldn't do? I'd give you 2 crisp £20 notes for that.
No. But since you've been such good fun, 50 quid, but that's the...
You are what they call a temptress.
50 quid and it's yours.
My heart tells me bye. My heed tells me put it back on the chair. But I'm not a head man, I'm a heart man.
So, Charlie, make your mind up time.
Well, frankly, gee with my heart and not my head. 50 notes, now take me out of here, come on.
What a terrible, terrible Scottish accent.
Oh, well, do you know, I thought it was really good.
No, Charlie, it really, really wasn't. Meanwhile, James is a man on a mission. Travelling 10 miles south, James has arrived in the Highland town of Fortrose. Located on the Moray Firth, Fortrose is known for its ruined 13th century cathedral. In the Middle Ages, it was the seat of the bishopric of Ross. Fortunately, we don't have to see Mr. Ross in his robes, as this is Mr. Braxton's shopping debut. Straight to work, and James has taken a fancy to Patricia's Pakistani rug. Ethnic again.
Bakara,
Yes.
Turkmen in design. Has it been loved or has it been mothed?
Well spotted, James. These rugs are beautifully made with many patterns and colours, but the most typical is that of the octagonal elephant's footprint with red background.
Anyway, that's a nice start. It's nice to see something I like. It's good. I'll just put that down there. It's Chinese rosewood. It's got this sort of stylised cloud thing, but it's just a nice item.
Yes, James. There are lots of nice items. Meanwhile, back in Cromarty, Charlie's drawn to a lovely pair of silver salts.
Are those salts English hallmark?
I think they are.
They are absolutely English. And they are Victorian. Have you dated them?
I haven't.
They've got the Victoria head on them.
I haven't even cleaned them.
So they've got to be between 1837 and 1891.
In the late 17th century, small individual salt cellars were created and used by the wealthy to hold their salt. Get away.
Aren't they sweet? The good news is they don't have a price on them.
So if I sell you these...
For 60 quid?
No.
No?
If I sell
Well,
you
50
these...
quid then, go on.
No.
You're doing yourself down.
No. 60 quid, they're yours.
60 quid, they're mine.
There's a bargain. 60 quid.
Could you not really take 50 quid?
No.
You said that. You said no so quickly.
Well,
I couldn't believe it. I like them.
have we got a deal?
Ross likes them. 60 quid. Thank you very much indeed. I've spent money.
Wow.
Another great buy, Charlie. I hope James is making progress.
It's rather nice. It's pressed glass. It's this sort of diamond cutting here, but it's not cut, it's pressed.
Pressed glass is a form of glass made using a plunger to press molten glass into a mould. Its introduction revolutionised the way in which glass was mass-produced.
It's a celery vase, so you stick the celery in it.
During the 19th century, celery became incredibly popular. One of the problems was retaining freshness, and immersion in water was the best method before refrigeration. I love a bit myself with cheese. Talking of which...
Quite like that. That's a malting shovel.
This malting spade would have been used to turn the malting barley to release any pockets of heat.
But it has been split, and that's been re-glued, chipped there a bit. But it's a lovely piece, isn't it? It's fun.
Yes, James, there's lots of nice items. And while you decide if you're buying today, back in Cromarty, Charlie's set Helen a bit of an antiques challenge.
Have you got something of any age for a fiver?
Can I find you something?
Yeah, something for a fiver.
Because you've been such good fun, you can have that for a fiver! Now, you probably make money on that. Perfect. It's to commemorate the investiture
I'll tell you what,
and anything to get...
you are such a sport. Do I get the two for a fiver?
No, a fiver each.
Oh, well, worth a try.
3 items bought,
Thank you.
job done.
£115 later, Charlie is off to a great start. But what's become of James?
I'd like to make you an offer.
OK.
So I'd like to buy
The Chinese table.
Chinese table,
Yes.
the rug,
Yes.
and the shovel.
And the shovel.
I'll give you £100 for it.
You want to give me £100
For the 3.
the shovel, the table and the rug?
Correct.
Let me go and get the shovel.
Brilliant,
and
brilliant.
bring it in. How
Thank you,
about that?
thank you, thank you.
And we'll talk about it.
Okay.
That sounds ominous.
I have 68 on the shovel.
I never look at a price tag, Patricia. It's one of the,
I have to.
one of my rules,
Okay.
my own personal rules.
And I've got 68.
I know, 68. Funny enough,
Yes.
funny enough, Patricia, it seems to be a running theme in this shop. 68.
And I said 80 to start with on the...
And I said 30, didn't I?
Well,
Now,
I think
what could
100's
you
just
do?
a little bit... Well, if I took that down to 68, if I took that down to 45, and 45 is 90, then you're only saying £10 for my rag, which I think that's just a little bit...
Light, Patricia?
Well, what are you thinking for the three?
About 140.
I don't like 140.
You don't like 140?
40.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it for 120, and that really is. If you add 68 and
120. I would very happily do it for 120 if you throw in that.
Cheeky monkey.
you throw in the salary bag.
So that's the 4 items for 120.
Okay.
That's a great buy, James. While James recovers from his somewhat prolonged shopping spree, Charlie is on a historical exploration. He's come to East Church, where local historian David Alston has kindly offered to enlighten Charlie on local man Hugh Miller, who put Cromarty on the map. Born in Cromarty in 1802, Hugh Miller had a troubled childhood. His father was drowned at sea when Hugh was just 5 years old. He became a rebellious schoolboy and eventually was thrown out.
So he left school and became a stonemason. Worked as a journeyman mason but developed lung disease and so then turned to stone carving, in memorial carving, as a way of making a living. And we're lucky that quite a number of his stones are in the churchyard here.
Hugh Miller was a self-educated and passionate man, but above all, his evangelical beliefs were the cornerstone of his life.
He was a stonemason, he collected folklore, he was a journalist, a geologist, but he was also a key figure in Scottish church history in the 19th century because he became the editor of The Witness, which was a church newspaper. And it became the newspaper of the Free Church of Scotland.
Hugh Miller fiercely believed in the Free Church movement, which was established to do away with pew rents and allow the church to be separate from government.
The Free Church broke away because people wanted the right to appoint their own ministers rather than having them appointed by landowners. So it was in some ways the biggest, not just religious but political division in Scotland in the mid-19th century. So in Cromarty, the majority of people left the established church to form the Free Church. There's a little rhyme that's used to sum up the disruption, which is the wee kirk, the free kirk, the kirk without the steeple, the old kirk, the cold kirk, the kirk without the people.
Oh.
The Free Church went off and they couldn't build fancy churches with steeples, but they had the people.
From difficult beginnings, Hugh Miller transformed his life to become an honest and hugely industrious man who left behind a true legacy. It's been a busy day on the Black Isle for both our experts, and it's time for some much-needed R&R. As dawn breaks on another dreich day in Scotland, our dynamic duo aren't letting it dampen their spirits.
Tell you what, Brackers, my hand's getting cold. This is more the Scotland I'm used to.
So far, Charlie's spent £115 on 3 lots. A pair of silver salts, the Mary Mitchell painting and the Wedgwood tankard, leaving a comfortable £85 at his disposal. James, meanwhile, has jumped straight into the first day's shopping, spending £120 on 4 items. The Baccara rug, the Chinese stand, the ash malting spade and the celery vase. James has £80 for the day ahead. James and Charlie are hopefully heading 40 miles southeast to the village of Oldern. East of the River Nairn, this charming village has a population of only 560. No wonder they're struggling to find it.
Where are we? We're in the middle of nowhere.
I haven't a clue where we are.
Oh, crap. Beg your pardon, Becca. This is it.
So this is it. Look at this. What have we got here? What have we got here? What have we got? Oh, doors.
Bit of architectural.
Aldern Antiques has been a family-run business for more than 30 years. They have a church and 3 rooms that are filled with a wide variety of stock, from architectural antiques, ceramics, glass, furniture and general bric-a-brac. There's something for everyone.
Your sort of thing here.
Getting warm feelings about this place. Warm feelings.
It looks like there's 2 distinct areas here.
Are they? You on the lower road?
I think so. You go in the chapel.
I'll go in the chapel.
I'll go in the shop. And I'll be in profit before ye. Tip number 1, always look up as well as down. Where to begin? Be logical. Start as far away from the door and work outwards.
While Charlie attempts logical, James has gone from Pakistan to India.
These are very kind to me, these lovely Indian peacock chairs. And you sit in them. There's a very lovely feeling of calm in these. Oh, and you're nicely cocooned. It's lovely. Lovely. And they're always quite cheap, they're quite fun. What is it priced at? £20, that's tempting. Let's see if I can secure it for slightly less. This could be a winner.
Really, James? Well, we'll see at the auction.
See Braxton lurking outside the door. You stay out, Brackers, old boy. This is Roscoe's domain in here.
Where's Roscoe? Let's hide it round here.
James, while you play hide and seek, Charlie's found a rather unique-looking elephant.
I like that. I just like Staffordshire. And I've never seen anything quite like that.
Staffordshire is a generic modern term for humble earthenware figures made in the county of Staffordshire in the 18th and 19th centuries. They often record Victorian history, scenes of everyday life, from pets to politicians to circus performers and their exotic animals, some being very much rarer than others.
It's not a reproduction. It's definitely 19th century. It's got damage. But, you know, Staffordshire is crude anyway. I don't think the damage matters too much. And after all, they're only asking £12. Oh, he's looking at me.
What on earth? It's got. What am I picking up? I'm picking up. It's got damage. Chips, splits, and cracks. Is that what it's got?
You haven't beaten me yet, Brackers. We're on day 2, old boy.
Well, can I show you something? Yeah. This is the item I found. I quite like the look of. Did I offer you 10? Roger?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, hello. Sorry. Oh, it's still intact. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Why?
But
I thought it was going to be 20 then.
I could help and meet you in the middle at 15.
15? What about £12.50? My offer, your offer. My offer, your price, sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty tight on the £15, and I think there's still money in that.
Can't squeeze you.
No.
You sure,
no,
Roger?
No.
Go on, put your hand there. Put your hand there.
Right.
I'm going to give you 15, don't worry.
Thank you very much indeed.
Deal done.
Do you know, the trouble is when someone's rude about your purchases, it puts you off, but... Oh, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Very true, Charlie. And at £12, it's not exactly breaking the bank, is it?
Roger?
Stop.
Yes. Could I borrow you for a second,
Of course.
sir? May we go in here, because Mr. Braxton is spying on me today. There's not much left of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't find many bits that aren't broken. I love the simple kind of... It has to be 19th century, and it's English, and it's Staffordshire. And I'm not sure I've ever seen the like, really.
No.
I mean, Staffordshire clock figures are really quite common, but I've never seen a Staffordshire clock in the form of a howdah on top of an elephant before. I mean, he's missing his tusk and everything, and it's £12. Presumably it came in a clearance in a box full of something.
Exactly, and I'm afraid back of a cupboard.
Back of a cupboard.
Sadly misused.
So, I know, but it's got a certain charm. It's got £12 on it, but it presumably costs nothing.
You know, certainly be willing to help you a little bit on it, but really it's only a few pounds.
I was going to be very rude, but I'd better not be very rude. I was going to ask you to knock the 10 off.
I could do it for £8 for you.
£8, sir?
Thank you very much.
Consider it bought. I like that. Mr. Braxton will be extremely rude about it, but I think we'll have the last laugh. I think that could make some money at auction.
Back on their merry way, Charlie wants to sample just one more shop. So James is dropping him off while he gives himself a well-earned treat in Elgin. All right for some, eh?
Raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The antiques they send... Oh, sorry. The remainder of my shopping will be done here. Thank you, good man.
Thank you.
Drive on, you'll pick me up later?
I'll pick you up later.
Oh, don't get too wet.
Open-top motoring in the rain is all great fun for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then, funnily enough, it sort of wears you down.
Oh, it's a hard life, James. He's heading for the famous Johnstons of Elgin, who manufacture the finest cashmere, cloth, knitwear and accessories. Established in 1797, Johnstons of Elgin is the UK's last remaining vertical woolen mill and the only one still to carry out all the processes from raw material to finished garment. As far back as 1851, the company had pioneered the weaving of cashmere in Scotland, and the lucky James gets to see the process firsthand.
Over the years we've evolved and now we're...
And showing him round is Jenny. Oh, look at the trousers. One tomato, one plum.
So it's not just tweed, not just kilts.
Long the world's most coveted fibre, cashmere comes from the underbelly of cashmere goats.
Our fabric comes from Inner and Outer Mongolia.
Yeah.
It comes direct to Johnstons, and this is the first stage of the process that we're going to see this afternoon. I don't know if you want to feel.
Yes, I do.
Beautiful
Isn't that soft?
cashmere.
Oh!
From the bale, we take the undyed cashmere, and what we need to do is we need to dye it.
Right.
Okay, so we have a vast array of colours that we need to...
Come on, show me some colours. Show me some
We're
colours.
going to go to the dye house.
Before the end of the 19th century, dyeing was carried out using natural materials such as bark, berries, seaweed and even insects.
So you're going to see the raw fibre gets transported into these vats.
Yeah.
They're then lifted into the big stock dyeing pots, and the dyes are then mixed together to create the vast array of colours that we offer.
Once dyed, the fibre is put onto yarn cones, and it's the physical properties of cashmere that explain its desirability.
Here's the yarn. Look how fine it is. This is very fine.
The threads are then vertically put onto the warp mill.
I see. So that's the sort of bones of the garment, isn't it?
Exactly,
Your cloth.
absolutely. Then the threads are inserted horizontally.
I
So
see.
you've got your warp and your weft, then creates plain weaves, twills, whatever we want to create.
Weaving has been a part of daily life here for centuries and was originally a manual craft. Nowadays, the majority of commercial fabrics are woven on computer-controlled looms.
From the warp, you don't see much of a pattern, do you?
You don't, you
And
see stripes. It's
stripes.
vertical.
And then suddenly, when you start inserting the weft, suddenly it all becomes
you see
clear,
the pattern.
doesn't it?
That's correct.
It's rather like the bones of the garment and the flesh of the garment.
Steady, James. Once woven, the cloth is washed to soften and give it that beautiful cashmere touch that's loved by people around the world. What a treat, James. You've been thoroughly indulged.
I saw the monocular there. It doesn't look a theatrical piece, does it? It looks more military.
Well, prior to long-distance specs, you keep it in your breast pocket. And then if you saw someone you might recognise across
Yes.
the road, you say, "Good Lord, is that Audrey over there?" By jingo, it is.
Can I just see if Audrey's there? You're right, Giles, it is Audrey.
Audrey!
Audrey, come here. That's a sweet object. I have to confess, I was a bit put off by the price. I think it's a charming thing. £85. You know, what did I think that would make at auction? I mean, if it could be...
Well, 40, I'll take 40.
Can you take £30 for it? Crispy notes, Scottish notes.
Well, I'll meet you halfway, 35.
You're talking to the original cheapskate here, Giles. I will pay 30, but
Oh, all right. Go on then.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I don't want to walk out of here and you say, that miserable Charlie Ross bought my fine object for £30.
No, only go. That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, ready.
Charles.
Great final purchase, Charlie. And with your shopping done, it's time for you and James to reveal all.
I'm afraid you've seen the first lot because you cheated and walked in on me.
Did I?
You did, you bounder. I just thought it was absolutely charming.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Well, it is.
That's
I've
lovely,
never seen
Charlie.
anything quite like it.
I think it's a nice item. And I think it's very much early 19th century, wouldn't you?
Well, I'd like to think it was. It's certainly not
Definitely.
earlier, but it's 19th century.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think it might make at auction?
I think it's somewhere between 50 and 100.
Cost £8.
£8? Oh! The pressure is off. £8, that's a very good buy. Here you are. This is my first item, Charlie. This is from Fort Rose.
Oh, well done.
Or Fortrose, if you live there.
Bukhara.
Bukhara.
It's 20th century. They're always a bit strange at auction, but I like the size and the colours and the patterns are easy, aren't they?
They are.
Profit. Well done,
Profit.
Brackers.
Well done,
Roll
well
it
done.
up.
Well done.
And if that car doesn't start, you can use it as transport, of course.
Right, now for your silver salts, Charlie.
I have been polishing these all night. They were black. And do you know what I used to clean them?
No.
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste. God, they look superb. They're well cast, the lion masks, aren't they?
Yeah.
And good feet to them, not bent. They're a nice, clean present for somebody, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Going off to the Far East.
Did I get a hint of that? You've gone off to China? You have.
Yes.
Is it early 20th?
I think it's got a bit of age, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it has. Good thing.
Good thing.
Very decorative thing. I like it, actually.
£35.
Well bought.
Steady work, steady work.
I'm afraid this is a gamble.
Oh, that's very nice.
But it's a gamble, isn't it? You know what auctions can be like with a picture.
I would buy that.
Would you?
Definitely.
Yeah. I just had visions of this making 20 quid at auction and you were quietly giggling in the corner.
No.
Time for your malting spade, James.
Oh, isn't that superb? Isn't that a fabulous...
It's a lovely weight, feel it.
Beautiful. Oh... That's difficult to date, presumably, because I don't suppose they would have changed. Doing well, aren't you?
Oh.
You're turning that £200 ever higher.
Go on, Mr. Ross, what's your fourth?
It is a little Georgian monocular.
That's a very sweet
Lenses are
thing.
quite nice.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, and it works.
Oh, yeah, it does work.
Very smart. You know what? A nice celery vase.
Yes. A celery vase. May I handle it?
Yeah, you're right.
It is cut and not pressed, I take it, is it?
No, it's pressed glass.
Is it?
It's pressed glass.
Does it come with something else?
No.
Oh,
On
this
its
was
card.
cheap, wasn't it?
It wasn't hugely cheap.
This pineapple pressing is nice, isn't it?
Yes, it is nice.
It's a pleasing-looking object, but I just hope it was cheap.
£10.
Yeah. Can't go wrong, can you?
Yeah.
Wedgwood, good box,
Good box.
but not something to be buying in Scotland. An investiture mug of His Royal Highness Charles, Prince of Wales.
I think there's beauty in that object.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I do.
But for a fiver, it's all right.
Box thing, I could live with that.
Yeah.
I could live with that. We are
I was wondering whether you'd bought an Orkney chair, and I was thinking
we're
to
getting
myself...
some hotter clients again.
Oh, my goodness me.
There are.
Conservatory, darling.
Another conservatory item, the lovely Indian chair. There we are.
I wouldn't sit in there too long. You've got a built-in halo there, but it's blooming comfortable, isn't it?
It is, it's lovely.
Yeah,
It's just like being cuddled.
yeah. One reason for buying it. Did you buy it off a lady? Yeah, either give me a cuddle or sell me...
That was all rather jolly. But what do they really think?
I think the peacock chair, frankly, is just hugely cheap. I think the one item that might fly a bit is the Chinese hardwood stand. I think it's a nice item, and Chinese things sell well at the moment.
His elephant, I think, is superb. I was being very rude at Roger's place about it, sort of teasing him, you know. But it's a lovely item. It's very well painted and should do well.
It's been a cracking first leg. The road trip has brought us from Cromarty along the beautiful Moray coastline to Bucky.
I can tell you nothing about Bucky at all, other than there is an auction room here.
Allow me to enlighten you. Being by the sea, it's no surprise that Bucky's principal industry is fishing. Cluny Harbour was completed in 1880 and was, in its time, one of the finest harbours in the northeast of Scotland. It's auction day, and our experts are cruising to Cluny Auction House, hoping their catch makes their fortune.
Very smooth.
Are you nervous?
I know, I'm looking forward to it. Are you?
I'm mildly nervous.
No, you shouldn't be. Oh. We bought well at the right prices.
You think we have?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Are we going to sell at the right price?
Well, I hope so.
That's the million-dollar question. The auction house is fit to burst with many a thrifty Scot, but before the gavel is raised, auctioneer John meets our anxious experts.
It's Charlie. Nice to see you. What do you think of our things we've brought you?
Quite like the elephant. That's going to do well.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's well?
I think it could make 200 or 300.
What?
No, Charlie.
What about James's things? Any interest in the rug?
Yeah, the rugs. I've got a couple of bids on that.
A couple of bids on it?
Yeah.
What, 10 and 15?
Maybe have to. You might just have to wait and see for that one.
All right.
Indian chair.
Indian chair, yeah.
I'm surprised you let that in your room, John.
Yeah, well, it's only because it was you, James.
Anytime.
Our experts began this journey with £200 each, and over the last 2 days, Charlie has spent a total of £153 on 5 auction lots. As for James, he took his £200 allowance and spent a little bit less, £135 on 5 lots. Strap yourselves in and hold on tight. The auction is about to begin.
You're going to give me a mincing today, Brackers?
No, I think it's quite the reverse.
First up, it's James's Chinese rosewood stand.
Oh, that's nice.
I can feel a twitter in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, we start at £40, 40, £10 then. Let's get going. 10 bid. 10 on bid, 12 bid, at 12 bid, at 12, 15, 18, 18, 18, 20. At 22, 22, at 22, 5. 25 on bid, 28, 40. £40.
Profit, Brackers.
£40 in the room at 40. No, at 48. One more. £48.
I think it was 48.
48, I'm happy with that.
£13 profit, James. That's not a bad start. Now it's bottoms up for one of Charlie's more unusual purchases, a tankard.
£10 then. Must be worth 10. I'll take a bid at 5 if you must. 5 on bids, thank you, sir. 5 at £5. 8 online now at 8. 10 in the room at 10. £12 a lady. At £12 at 12. At 12. 15's online. 18's in the room. 18's in the room. All done? 200. No, James.
18, very good, Roscoe.
I tell you what, for an investment of 5, that's a bit of a spanker.
That is very good.
You're both off to a fighting start. Next up, it's James's malting spade.
10 on bid, 12 bid, at 15 bid, at 15, 18.
Rush of hands, rush of hands.
32 bid, 32 bid, 35. 35, 35, 38. 42, 45.
Here, who's bidding?
50's new one. 50 on bid now at 50 at £50. So all done at 50.
Oh, well done. Well done, that man. Good working profit. Very happy with that.
Great result, James. Now for your peacock chair.
I think they saw you coming, to be honest.
Yeah.
What was the ticket price? 10?
£20 for a peacock chair. 20, I'll take 10.
Oh, well done, that man. Oh.
Saved your
Then only on bid 12. 12 on bid at 12, 15, now at 15. At 15, 18 on bid. £18 at 18. Are we all finished and done then? £18.
Oh.
18.
£18.
I think to coin a phrase, that's washed its face.
I think it's washed its face.
Great expression, but after commission, that £3 profit isn't going very far.
I threw 3 selling opportunities, and they've been, I think, slightly squandered.
Next up, it's Charlie's big gamble, the Mary Mitchell painting.
£20, 20 surely.
They can't see it.
Online, I have you online. I'm saved online. Yeah.
Sit down, Charlie. That's not auction room etiquette, and you know it.
Thank you, sir.
Naughty. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
That should have killed it.
Oh, the 30's online at 30, at £30 online. Are we all done at £30 then? Oh, 32.
Oh!
32, 35, 38's the lady.
Because this man deserves an OBE.
50's online, 50, at 50. Don't lose it for a few pounds, 55, 55. 55, at 55. I've all finished now. There you have it, 300.
Well done. 55.
Sorry, Charlie, but after commission, that's not much of a profit.
165 is a small George III brass telescopic monocular here. I'll take £10 to start, mate. £10, 12.15's online at 15. At 15, I'll get you all 18 now, 18, 20.
Here we are. It's warming up. Oh, the lady over there, she's loving it.
52, do I see 5? 45. 45 now, 48. Yes. At 55 then, are you all finished and done online at £55? 60 just in time. £60 just in time. Is that a bid? 65. Room's my bidder at 65 for the last time then.
Well done.
I'm really pleased with that, James.
I would be. I think it's a good price.
Well done, Charlie. That's a £35 profit. Now, for your silver salts.
£60 at 60 at £60 at 60 at 60. Do I see 5?
I think you said they were about on the money, didn't you, Brackers? And that's
65's online now at 65. At 65 and 70.
That's better.
£70 at 70 now at 70. At £70 at 75's a new bidder. At 75 and 80. At £80. At £80.
You're into profit now, Charlie.
£80 at 85. Ladies, my bidder at 85 and 90.
It's a good day, this.
Now at 90. At 90. Are we all done then?
Another great profit, Charlie.
Ross has come home, hasn't he? Right,
let's get this right on.
James, it's over to you and your magic carpet.
I can start the bidding at 40, £42 with me at 42, £45 with me, 45, at 45, 48 now, 48, 50, 52, 55, 58 and 60. 60's with me against you. One more, 65 and 70.
Oh, man.
70. I'll take another wee nibble if you like. £70. That's 70 and 5's with me. 75. That's 75. He says it's a flying carpet, but there's no guarantee with it.
It's currently grounded.
It's bids with me here. £75 then, and 80. £80. What can I do? £80. You see 5? 85, at 85, at 85, at 85 pounds. Thank you very much, sir. At 85 pounds, 331.
Very good result. Excellent.
Well done, James. That's a profit of £45. With one lot each still to go, Charlie is only £7 ahead. Next up, it's his Staffordshire elephant, and the auctioneer thinks it could go for a couple of hundred.
£80 is online, thank you. Online.
80 online?
At 80. At 80.
Crikey, Charlie, that's 10 times what you paid for it.
85, 130 online, that's okay. At 130.
130, it's jumped to 130.
140 is on the phone.
This is getting really interesting. There are no more bids in the room, but the phone and internet bids are really picking up.
Sorry?
You're hearing this?
I am. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
On the phone as well? This is ridiculous.
1,000.
1,000?
1,200 online.
1,200? Brackers!
It's all over.
This is unbelievable.
1,800. 1,800.
1,800?
1,900 with Kyron.
19.
2,000.
A bit ridiculous now.
2,100.
Unheard of on the road trip.
2,100. Barbara's on the...
He's going to have a heart attack.
2,223 on the phone.
I'm crying.
2,3's on the phone. 2,3's on the phone at 2,3.
Look at this. The magic of the auction. Who would ever have thought this?
Are we all done online at 2.5?
I think that my old mate Fletcher said this could make a few £100.
2,600.
I am speechless.
I fear my road trip is already over.
2,700. For the last time, £2,700. Bids on the phone at £2,700 then. Are we all finished online at 2.7? At 2.7 for the last time.
Take us back, take us back.
Never in the history of the road trip have we ever had a sale like that. What an amazing result, Charlie.
I'm leaving. I think my road trip is over. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Please don't go, James. You never know. Your celery vase might just swing it for you.
Shame it was damaged, really. That's absolutely extraordinary.
That is extraordinary.
There we are, the celery vase there then. What we say, £40 for it? 30? £10 then. £10 for the celery vase, £10.
Do I hear 1,500? Sorry.
10 on bed, 12 bed, 12 bed.
Oh, we're away.
15 value.
Come on, Bucky. Dig deep and help James out. He needs it.
32 down here. That's 32 for the last time then. And the lady down here's 129.
Well done, Brackers.
On a normal day, James, £22 is a good profit, but today's not a normal day.
Well done.
That was a good result, that. You've made a good working profit today, haven't you? No, you have.
Yeah.
I've made an obscene one, but you have made it.
You certainly did, Charlie. No one was expecting that. Your Staffordshire elephant was bought by a passionate collector from America. And it just goes to show that all you need is some courage, the right buyer, at the right time, and you too can be a winner.
It's all a bit surreal, really, isn't it? I should be excited, but I just keep wondering what happened. £8 to £2,700.
Dear old Roscoe's Staffordshire steamed ahead, making many thousands. If only I'd gone in that room before. Would I have chosen it? I don't know.
After paying auction costs, James has made a healthy profit of £56 and 6p. He has a respectable £256 and 6p to carry forward. Charlie, on the other hand, we can hardly get his profit to fit in the piggy. He's had a mighty win. He has a whopping £2,447.96p to start the next show.
But I think my tactic now should be to put Mr. Roscoe into some very large ticketed items. That's the only way he's going to make some substantial losses. Anyway, road trip history has been made. Well done, Mr. Ross.
Bye-bye, Bucky.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Bucky. Love you, Clooney. Love you,